Hello guys, I hope you're all well and you're not too bored from lockdown. I've been keeping myself busy with doing some leather craft items. Some of them I'm doing for sale and then others are for myself, so I've made myself some braces, hold my trousers up a lot better. Made myself a holder for my e-cigarette. Fits nicely on the belt. And I also made myself a hat. Still got to dye it, but not too bad. Just a tad big, but yeah, not bad at all really. Never made a hat before. So anyway, on to the subscriber giveaway, the questions, or more like the answers to your questions, and we'll do a draw for the prize. So just so you can remember, that's what you're winning: a hand forged fire steel, well, a steel. I'll include a flint as well and some char cloth, and it'll come in a tin. Still waiting for these. I've just ordered some new tins. I was waiting for them. So as soon as that arrives, then I'll send it out to the winner. So let's get on with the questions. Right. Got them here on my phone. I've been in the past, I've written them down, but so first one is from Mac, and he asks, are you still going to self-isolate in the wilderness even if you get locked down? Well, it would be nice to. It would be very nice to be honest. Unfortunately, having family and other people that have sort of depend on me, it's not practically possible, unfortunately. To cut that one short. I'd love to. I'm missing the woods terribly. Managing to walk into a few just little bits of woodland nearby, but unfortunately no, and I'm pretty sure my elderly mother, who is permanently stuck in doors, would be a bit annoyed at me because she wouldn't get any shopping. So Matt asks, how are you going to? Yeah, how are you going how am I getting on with the Land Rover after some time using it as a bug out vehicle? It's good. There's a few things that I want to improve upon. So there's then the Disco 2s, most of them, or certainly the one I've got, came with a 6 and 7 seat at the back. I'm going to take them out and create like a couple of like little cubby spaces in there just for extra storage. I'm very unlikely to have 6 or 7 people in my Landy anyway, and the legroom that you get is fine if you're a child, and then you need child restraints, so not exactly practical. But other than that, yeah, got, like I said, there's a few bits I want to do to it and stuff, but I recently had to put a new barrel lock and ignition in because the barrel had worn out. So that was the first thing I did after being quarantined for a week. Luckily it was a job that went pretty straightforward, which most of the jobs are supposed to go pretty straightforward, but on Land Rover usually the nuts or bolts seize up and it takes forever to get stuff undone. But that was on the inside where it's relatively dry, so no rusty nuts. What we got? The next one, Pagan Outdoors. What is your favourite tarp setup for ground dwelling? Probably just a simple lean-to. So 2 trees, string half the hammock on a sort of like a 45 degree angle, or depending on what the weather's going to be like, and then just have the front open, either sort of like a higher angle if I want a fire nearby, and then you can just easily drop it into an A-frame, almost like a tent, if you need to, if the weather closes in. That's usually, if I'm ground dwelling under a tarp, that tends to be my setup. There's various different ways you can do it, but yeah, that's what I tend to go with. Adventure with K asks, where are those dogs? Are those my dogs? Oh right, yeah, it's alright. I'm just remembering where I filmed this. Are these my dogs? No, they're not my dogs. They're my dad's dogs. The names are Rodney and Dora. Dora's the younger one. I'm not sure, I can't remember if you actually saw her. Also, I think there was a neighbour's dog that was barking as well. Yes, I have Whiskey the kitten, and so just reading the rest of just a kitty for yourself. I'll read the question out properly. Are those your dogs? No. Names answered. Any other pets? Just Kitty myself. Be well. Love to be considered to win it. Yeah, I've got a cat, Whiskey. I think he's asleep on the bed. I'm surprised he's not up here pestering. I have got some fish as well. I've got some tropical freshwater fish. It would be nice to have a dog, but not where I live. It's just a bit too small really for a dog. I'd love to have a golden retriever. I do like golden retrievers, or an Alsatian. I've had well, it was my dad's, but when I was very young I had an Alsatian. Grown up with dogs, cats and all sorts of animals. And then, what else did we have? We've had a few dogs. The last dog I had was a cross Alsatian Japanese Akita. He was massive, huge, deft as a brush, soft as anything, but also very protective. Extremely strong as well. Well, I had loads of cats, and we've had rabbits, we've had hares that we've been given in the past from a farmer. Well, they were the kits to look after all sorts. Shane, how often do you wow camp at Lodge Moor? I've never, well, depends on where you call Lodge Moor. The closest I think I've wow camped to Lodge Moor is Stanage Edge, to be honest. So it's not really Lodge Moor. Yeah, I don't really go around there, to be fair. I know there's a few places you can tuck yourself away from, and I've thought about it recently-ish, up until lockdown, but no, I haven't. Kaylin. So I'm just reading this before. I'm in it to win it for a UK sub, so you won't have to drop a pile of pounds. Oh, okay, yeah. It's alright. I generally never mind posting anywhere in the world. I've had subscribers giveaway stuff go over to I think it was the Eastern, so definitely somewhere in Canada anyway. And I'm sure I've sent something off to it was either Indonesia or Taiwan, it was around there. If you had access to a piece of land with permission to build camp on, For long-term use, what kind of shelter and other related elements would I build? I definitely would build a permanent lean-to. Yeah, probably obviously I'd try and have it a little contained to a degree where you're not getting buffeted by the wind. So it's good to have a fire 2 or 3 feet in front of where you're going to be sitting. Build a fire reflector in front of that. I've done similar camps before, not necessarily on permission, but and then just maybe use like hazel to weave like a bit of a fence around, rather than using loads of thicker branches, straight branches, to make a more solid edge. Because even a weaved edge, if you do it right, cuts out the wind an awful lot. Just basic things really. Make a wood store pile, which I've done in a previous camp. That's covered and off the ground. Probably a few chairs, which again I've made. That wasn't my old camp. I'll drop you the link into to a video if you haven't seen it with that one. Basically you'll get the idea, because that's sort of what I was going for anyway. Luke explores, do you prefer tent, hammock or bivvy camping, and why? Hammock. Yeah, it's got to be hammock. If you get the setup right, you'll find it way more comfortable. I've hammock camped in late October and I've still not used an under blanket. If you can get the right sort of mat underneath you where it's not going to move around, if you don't overinflate it, it won't sort of like stick out all over the place. I found using a Thermarest half inflated works pretty well. I've also used caribou skin as well, which is pretty good. That can be a little too warm though. Depends on how cold it is. I just love that, being able to, you wake up and you're kind of out in the woods already in the morning. You know, you can peer out and from under your tarp and just see everything that's going on around you. And you can, that's the thing as well, at night you can kind of, once your eyes have completely adjusted and the fire's died down, you can see around you quite well. Whereas if you're in a tent, you tend to feel a little bit more enclosed and a bit disconnected. So that'd be why. 2455 Keith. What's your favourite fire starter and why? Ferricidium rod, definitely, in terms of tool, just because it's so versatile and reliable. If you get a good one, I've got the really thick. In fact, I think I've got it in here. Why it's in here, I don't know, but I've got it in here. Yeah. Box full of junk. I've got a really thick one that basically I just drilled a hole through and put a lanyard on it, a carabiner, and I've had that a few years now, pretty much. So fire steel, and probably it's always usually been birch bark. With a knife, just scrape up the birch bark. The only thing I find about birch bark was that because the shavings are so fine, the slightest breeze and it'll blow it away, or you strike it, you get that flame going, and again it'll just blow. It is easy to blow out. So these days, fat wood, a good fat wood, I got some really nice fatwood from up in Scotland, so it's like got some really moggy ground. Managed to rip out a big chunk of root ball. So yeah, I pretty much use that, and I can usually make 4 or 5 fires with a small piece that's about half an inch thick, probably about, I don't know, 8 inches long. So yeah, it's versatile and it smells so good as well. But other than that, birch bark, definitely. I know there's loads of different things you can use. I suppose a good one in terms of is, if you can't get hold of natural tinders, is cotton wool and Vaseline. That works pretty darn well. So yeah, I do enjoy doing bow drill. In terms of satisfaction, bow drill. Oh yeah, bow drill's the better one. It takes longer. Bodden asks, as you have applied to enter the challenge of taking part on the TV programme Hunted, yes, I would like to know if you have been making plans already on what I'm going to do and how will I do should I be chosen for the programme. I was, up until I got an email about 3 weeks ago. It was the beginning of all this COVID lockdown and everything, to say that they weren't filming, well, they were postponing filming. To which point I thought, I wonder if that means I'm actually being considered. But then I asked a friend of mine as well, who I know had entered, and to start with, he hadn't had an email, but then he got in touch with me the next day and said he'd had the exact same email. Yes, I've been preparing in the terms of I've not finished watching the current series, but I've watched every other series I've made lists of all the tactics that the hunters have, everything to their disposal, just everything they've got in terms of tools to track you down that you can see. Made a list of, or noted all the mistakes that people generally tend to make when they get caught. I've been looking at, I know the UK pretty well. I've done a lot of travelling around the UK, either on bike or on foot, driving around. I've been in touch with a few people in terms of if I get on that, will they be able to sort me out, because like in this last series, you ran out of a van with nothing. So yeah, and then I've looked at a few other things. I don't want to go into a huge amount of detail on it, because if I get on I might give stuff away. So yeah, hopefully we'll get on. I'll find out soon. Just got to check on the camera, see how much time there's left. Oh, that's a really good time to cut in there actually. There were 39 seconds left, because on this camera it only does for 20 minutes at a time, which means I've been babbling on for quite a bit. Rock Troll, what is your piece of gear that you... What is your piece of gear that you would like to have? Oh, what piece of gear would I like to have? That is me being stupid. Good question. I've got quite a bit of gear. I'm not overly a gear driven person. I've got tents, I've got hammocks, sleeping bags, clothing, I've got knives, I've got my bushcraft black Moria knife that I use pretty much all the time. I have got a blank MOD knife, which the blanks are hard to get hold of, so yeah, I managed to pick that up at charity auction. At the moment, probably a new camera, new DSLR camera. Would be nice to have one in 4K, not to put out necessarily in 4K, but it just gives you more. I could still put it out in 2K, just still looks better. But yeah, nothing really springs to mind. And then I make stuff as well myself. I think maybe if I had somewhere to dry it out, maybe so like a bell tent where I could have a stove in it. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. It took me a while to answer that question. Couch Pile of 12, like your name. Although coronavirus is around and social distancing is crucial, how does that affect your terms of practicing your bushcraft skills? I live in a 3rd floor flat. Yeah, so in terms of practicing my skills, it's non-existent. When I've been going out for a walk around, I've been seeing various plants and reminding myself what they are as I've been going around, trying to remember the names of things. I'm terrible at remembering names for stuff. Other than that, yeah, I've been doing leather work mainly. It's not really bushcraft related as such, although some of the items I'm making are for bushcraft, but yeah, I haven't got the space. I can't even practice bow drill here because we've got an integrated smoke alarm system which you can't turn off. So if I create some smoke in here, then just from, even if I was just trying to get an ember, that was it. Because these smoke alarms are flipping sensitive, you only have to put some sausages on and just do them at a slight, well, not even burn them, but some of the fat gets burned, just sets them off. So yeah, I'm a bit stuck for practicing my bushcraft skills, unfortunately. It is annoying. The weather since lockdown has been gorgeous, although been really windy today and it's supposed to be tomorrow. So, and it's an easterly as well. I face east and I'm fairly high up, plus on the 3rd floor flat. So it's been really noisy. So it's the quietest it's been all day this. So that's why I'm filming later on at 20 to 8, which in half an hour I've got to go and pick the missus up from work. Colin, when are you getting a crew cut? Never. I'll never say never, but no. No. Considered trimming my beard. It's getting longer. Going for a Gandalf type maybe, possibly. I don't know. Depends how much my missus lets me get away with it. She's already been hinting, going like that to me. Steve Sanders. When am I coming to Wales? We got the Brecon Beacons and the Gower coastal walks. It's somebody fairly recently mentioned the Gower or Gower Peninsula to me. I've spent a lot of time looking around the coast because I'd really like to go around the coast in Wales, and from what I can see using Google Maps, I can't find somewhere that I think, oh, that looks good, because your coastline's quite well populated. But when am I going? As soon as lockdown finishes, because there is a river in Wales that I want to visit for two reasons. One, the area looks really nice and pretty, and the river looks really nice, and also want to do some gold panning on it as well. So I very, very nearly drove over there a few days before lockdown to do that, to do exactly that. Just go and have a look, do a few test patterns, see what the area was like. Wales is I've been up through, I've cycled all the way up through the Wye Valley. Some years ago I did a 850 mile bike ride, did it in 8 days. Well, I went across from Bristol, across the Channel, and went all the way up through the Wye Valley to Hereford. Although I did all that in 1 day. I think I did something stupid like 130 miles that day. I've been to, I must admit, Wales is one of the areas I've not been to an awful lot, not explored a lot. Been in the Brackens a bit. And then up through the Wye Valley. But that's about it, I'm ashamed to say. But I do want to spend a bit more time going to Wales. Hopefully hopefully this year. We'll see. I think we've got at least another 3 weeks of lockdown, unfortunately. So that's all the questions. Thank you ever so much. I'll do the draw in a second, so I'll film it. I've seen an app where you can pick out a random question and I'll just come up with a person. So I'll do that on camera, facing down. So good luck to you all. Okay, so I'm doing a random comment picker. So I'm just going to go with the first one. It does say Facebook, but okay, not that one. Let's just type in YouTube. Oh. YouTube. See what this comes up with. It's probably the same thing. It's probably going to ask me to log in. Seen one where you can just enter. There we go. Yeah. So, already pasted and copied this. Oh. I can't see anything. Paste, right. Right, let's see. Start. It's actually done anything. Get YouTube comments. Maybe. There we go. First time I've used this. Saw somebody else use it. Okay. See who wins. Couch Pilot 12. There you go. That is the winner. Couch Pilot 12. So yes, Couch Pilot 12. Well done, congratulations. You are the winner. If you go onto either my Facebook or Instagram, send me a message with the details and I shall get that sent out to you ASAP. Only thing I'm waiting for is some new tins to come. But yes, thank you to everyone who entered. Thank you to all my subscribers. I did expect a few more questions, to be honest, but hey ho, evens or makes the odds better for the ones who did. So yeah, until the next video, which I'm not sure will be, but maybe I'll do some leather work or something from home. Who knows? If that's something you like the sound of, put something in the comment box below. Maybe I'll make a knife sheath or a sheath for a Laplander or something like that. And yeah, I'm limited to what I can do at the moment. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.